Welcome to another daily encouragement. I hope this video points you to Jesus and encourages you to point others to Jesus. Today, I want to talk to you about being dead to our sin, but alive in God. Now, that's an encouraging statement, and there's a lot that could be read into it, but I'd like to share with you the wholesome reminder that we are dead to our sin because of Jesus. And if you've accepted him into your life, you don't have to live in that. He's broken the shackles and the chains of sin around us and given us hope and salvation. We just have to commit to him and accept it. I want to share Romans chapter 6, and the passage is verses 12 through 14. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body to make you obey its passions. Do not present your members to sin as instruments for unrighteousness, but present yourselves to God as those who have been brought from death to life, and your members to God as instruments for righteousness. For sin will have no dominion over you, since you are not under law, but under grace. There's a lot to unpack from that verse, and I want you to dwell on it. I want you to reflect on it and think, how can I fully obey this? How can I fully go all in on this commandment in this statement here in the scriptures? Now, I want to show you an image that I think it helps me, and I think it'll help you really encapsulate the meaning from that Romans 6 chapter. It's from a book series that I enjoy reading, and this is a very vivid imagery of a man, he's a warrior, who has this suit on, and I know it's all fictional, but the meaning is still there. He has this suit on that causes him to go berserk mode. If he goes too far, the suit will fully consume him, and he gets enwrapped in darkness. But before that happens, he has this helper who she pulls him out of that. And I thought of it, when I first saw this image, I thought this is an example of how Christ pulls us out of sin. So I want you to take a look at this image and see how he's being pulled out, seeing the desperation in his eyes from the bottom of the picture, looking at all the dark consumption, all the way up to the top with the light. It's very much an example of good and evil, light and darkness, sin and Christ. And when I look at this, I think Christ is reaching out to us. Are we going to commit to reaching back and hanging on to him, clutching his arm for dear life, wanting to be pulled out of the sin and darkness of this world? I think the other example of Peter walking on water to Jesus, he hops out of the boat, he takes a leap of faith, he has strong, bold faith, and as soon as he starts walking toward Christ, he is walking faithfully. But the moment that he turns back and looks where he came from, and his faith wavers, he starts to sink and he panics. And it's because he took his eyes off Christ. And I think the passage from Romans reminds us that although we are deserving of death, we've been granted life. Although we struggle with unrighteousness, we've been granted righteousness through God's grace. And he's given us a choice of free will. And that's a beautiful thing, but we have the free will to walk away from him and live a life of sin, or we have to fight with everything that we have and choose to walk in the light with Christ. As soon as we stop focusing on Christ, we know what happens. We sink. We become consumed in the sin. We will not be pulled out of the darkness. There's nobody or nothing that can pull us out of the darkness other than Jesus Christ himself. And so my challenge for you is to seek Jesus with every effort that you have. Allow him to pull you from the darkness and the sins of your life and commit to him. Commit to choosing to follow him so that you can destroy the sin in your life and follow him and live a life that is peaceful and holy and good on the path to heaven. Grace and peace be with you.